What is up, guys? Thank you so much for checking out another video, guys, and today is a big day for silver. It has passed a very important threshold of $21 per ounce. So, the first time in 6 years, we're talking 6-year highs. The last time it even tested the possibility of $21 was back in August of 2000 and what was it? 2016, I think, right around here at $20.40. So, huge day. That was a very big threshold, and the gap's getting smaller between gold and silver. So the gold to silver ratio is starting to close a little bit. But there's something, and I've showed this before, but we really got to pay attention to this trend because it's very similar. So back in 2008, if you look here, silver had a spike in 2008 just before the recession, and then we had a hard dip all the way down to $9.73, followed by, look at this, increase, 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 until it finally just went, skyrocketed to $44.92. There is a crazy similarity to what happened then to now. We had a nice spike right here. Not as deep, not as high as the 2008 version, but we had probably a harder dip than in 2008. Silver went all the way down into the left. I can't get it in there, but there it is, $11.90, if you guys remember back in March. And unfortunately, we weren't able to cash in on that dip because most of the dealers shut down. But regardless, that dip followed by a V-shaped, semi-V-shaped recovery, and we are now experiencing a massive spike, just like in 2008. So I don't really like to pump up you guys and start freaking you guys out to the point where you start buying a bunch of silver to, kind of make up for time or, not miss the boat. But that is something to pay attention to. And keep in mind, there's a couple differences between 2008 and now. And if you look here, by the way, this is where I started to stack. Look at this volatility. Crazy time for somebody to get into stacking is when I decided to get into stacking. But I appreciate the time, the experiences, because I learned a lot the hard way, and it has made me a better stacker altogether by being in that period. I think this time around, so here's that sharp increase that I showed you all the way up to the 40s, past the 45 mark, and then it was just crazy volatility, right? But I think this time around is going to be a little bit more steady. I don't think it's going to be this hard of dips this time. I think it's going to stick. It's going to be, minor dips. I think it's going to be pretty consistent. This was the back end of the recession right here. So back then I worked in hospitality and I worked for tips. And I noticed right around this time that we started getting people from other parts of the world. So at one point it was only really, Canadians and some Europeans, but not really smaller countries, and then all of a sudden we started getting people from China. We started getting people from Thailand and, these strange small countries. And that was a sign that the economy was starting to get better. And not only that, but my cash tips started to go up, which means people had more money to dispose of. So I knew that the economy was starting to recover. So I ended up selling my silver, especially since the volatility was so crazy. I was like, I got to sell. And it finally leveled out right around the $19 mark. And, if you're buying Eagles at $45, $50 per, when you see $19 silver, that's the time to buy. So anyways, I just want to give you guys a little bit of reassurance, you new stackers or the stackers that have been stacking for a long time in this period where we got spoiled for a very long time, $14, $15 silver. We're going to be split two ways now. We're going to have guys that are going to be buying a lot more because they think silver's going way, way up, kind of like this in 2011. And then we're going to have the spoiled ones like me. But I'm still going to be buying. But the ones that we're buying in this period of time, which was awesome. $14, $15 silver that are pretty much saying that silver is it's too expensive now. So we have been spoiled. But we just got to pay attention to what's going on. In this spike, this crazy period, there was only a recession. Not to downplay a recession, but let's compare the two periods, right? As of now, we have industries that are probably never going to be the same, or it's going to take a very long time for some of these industries to recover. The hospitality industry, the travel industry, the restaurant industry, small business owners. I mean, there's a list of companies that are just never going to be the same. And that was not the case back in 2008 to 2011. There wasn't a pandemic in 2012. There wasn't stimulus packages going out. There wasn't riots in the streets as violent as they are now. There's a lot of stuff going on now that was not going on during this crazy time of silver and gold, by the way, prices. So yes, silver has a massive potential, and passing the $21 mark is a huge milestone. Huge. So right here we have the SLV ETF, and it's not even just the silver spot that has been really trending. Look at this. Over the last 3 months, this has gone up $5.65. If you look at the 5-year, over the last 5 years in total, it has gone up $5.51. So what does that tell you? That means just in the last 3 months, this has gained more value than it has over the last 5 months in just 3 months. And just like the silver spot, we have that dip. All the stocks you see have that dip. And now we are talking 5-year highs for this SLV ETF, which means that a lot of investors are starting to catch on and moving their money into silver ETFs. Keep in mind, I know a lot of you guys are, with that saying, you don't hold it, you don't own it. But some of these investors don't want the hassle of buying physical silver. Yes, it does sort of defeat the purpose of some of the aspect of silver stacking, but there's still some that makes sense even in this paper ETF version of silver. So basically, these are straight up investors. They don't care about hedging and inflation and prepping and all that stuff. They just want to make the money. They want to lock their money up in something that is secure and potentially could go up, and that's it. So they don't want to move thousands of dollars out of their investment account and buy physical silver. There's people that don't want that hassle. So for anyone like that, this is a great option. And I actually made a video of me buying about $7,000 worth of this stuff right around the $14 mark, and I ended up selling around $17, which was a good trade at the time. But I wish I would have held it now even longer, because it is up in the 19s. So yeah, I've been trading this on and off, by the way. But yeah, so anyways, guys, this is another sign that it's not even just the silver spot, the physical market that is gaining. It's all across the board. There's multiple silver ETF companies, silver mining companies that are hitting 5-year highs as we speak. So in general, silver and gold and palladium and platinum are on the move in the upward direction. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this video, little discussion about an amazing milestone for silver. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.